Hi everyone, my name is Raquel Forsgren. I'm a yoga therapist, a resilience coach, and founder of Living Yoga Therapy. If you're a mindful educator and we've been working together, we've been focused over the last month around self-love, compassion, self-awareness. How do we build it? How do we give it to ourselves? That means being self-aware of our thoughts, our actions, why we're thinking about things the way we are, why we're doing things that we're doing. So today's discussion and today's practice will be about vulnerability. And by now, if you've been doing all of the other practices, I would bet that there has been a sense of vulnerability that's come up from time to time. And what do we mean by vulnerability? Well, I immediately pointed to my abs, my stomach, my core, because when I feel vulnerable in a situation, whether it's a conversation with someone or I'm about to go into a workshop, I get butterflies. I start to, sometimes I can feel an ache in my stomach. This area of our body is where we hold self-confidence. Energetically speaking, it's the third chakra. And being vulnerable is when you feel like you're kind of exposed, right? And you want to do well, or like for you, when you get in front of your classroom even, you want to connect with your students. You want your students to understand, to learn. You may even want to be that mentor, that leader, that inspiration that they think of as they go through life. We could even be vulnerable with our spouses. It could be maybe a sweet gesture can sometimes make a person feel vulnerable if they're used to being very independent or taking care of themselves. There's all sorts of different things that trigger vulnerability. For our purposes today, we're going to be doing a practice that helps us think about how to shed some armor, as Brene Brown, one of my favorite inspirational teachers and leaders, talks about. Shed the armor and embrace that vulnerability, because it allows us to connect with other people when we feel vulnerable or share something even that makes us feel vulnerable. That guard is let down. So let's go ahead and do just a quick practice. Sit in a chair. You can do this standing. You can do it lying down. It doesn't really matter, but close your eyes. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. And tune into your breathing right now. Those of you that work with me know that we always come back to the breath. Always, always, always. Notice what you're thinking about right now. And make a commitment to be fully present for this practice that we're going to do. And I want you to bring to mind what vulnerability means to you. What does it mean to you? Now think of a time, maybe in the last week, that you feel like you had some exposed vulnerability, or you felt vulnerable with someone or something. Think of that time. Notice where in your physical body you're feeling a sensation right now. As you're imagining that time, that memory, can you match it with somewhere in your physical body with a sensation? Take a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale into that space, into that part in your physical body where you feel it. Take another inhale and an exhale. Come back to that memory, that time that you were vulnerable. What was the outcome? What happened in that moment that you were vulnerable? Now bring to mind something about yourself that you may not have shared with anyone. Only you know, or maybe one or two persons in your life know. For whatever reason, you haven't shared it. And we all have those varied reasons, but think of that, something you haven't shared. Ask yourself why you haven't shared it. Notice in your physical body if anything is being felt anywhere, any sensation, any physical feeling. Just notice what it is. Come back to that thing that you haven't shared with anyone else. And see if you can identify one person in your life. One person. It could be more, but let's just start with one. One person that you could share that something with to deepen a connection, build trust. Often when we're sharing things with other people, it deepens trust, builds deeper bonds between family, friends. Think about how you feel, or how you would feel if that someone shared something really close and vulnerable for them with you. How would that make you feel? That they trusted you. They wanted to connect with you. How would that feel? Go ahead and come back to your breath. Come back to your feet. Softly blink open your eyes. That feeling that you were getting when you visualized someone else trusting you, sharing something with you, is exactly how another person feels when you trust them to share and connect with them. That's vulnerability. That's letting our guard down. That's how we build resilience, is getting used to sharing, knowing that we can share, we can trust, and trusting that even if for some reason that trust could be broken, that we've shared, we've put a step forward. We're trying to connect. That's resilience. Give it a try.